All right, g'day and welcome to Wing It Podcast number 18. Dogger, how are we?
Going very well.
That's the
I
way.
like that you ask me every time, but you don't ask me in real life. You only ask me when we're on air.
Just because I have to act like a nice guy in front of the listeners.
Fair enough.
That's about
it's
it.
all about image, isn't it?
Oh, completely. Number 18, what have we got with 18? Kane Corns, was he 18? I don't even know. I'm very bad with footy numbers, so
Same. I'm trying to think. The Demons
18.
players 18 right now. Melksham, maybe?
18 players in the field.
Yeah,
That's
there
something.
are. Yeah, nothing. I'm donuts for that.
Yeah, I'm donuts with that too. 18 almost looks like two donuts
I keep
almost.
thinking of Eddie Betts, but he's 19, isn't he?
Oh, I'm terrible at numbers. 18.
Anyway,
Moving on. Welcome to episode 18 of the Wing It Podcast. We're reviewing round 14 as per. It was actually a very short week of footy last week, but a couple of juicy games and then a couple of meh games.
and the solo game on Sunday, Essendon versus Hawthorn, actually turned out to be a ripper
Yeah.
game. So
It was a hard game if you were punting because
Yes.
Langford 19, Parrish not showing up. It was a tough game to punt on if you're doing your 5-10 leg moldies, especially with disposals. But anyway,
which
yes.
we don't do or
Which
condone.
we don't do or condone at all. Anyway, we just do Matt's multi instead, which is worse. So obviously we'll do
It
that.
went well last week though.
Yes, how many legs did you lose by this time?
2 out of 4. So
That's okay.
went all right.
It's
But
a
one was Langford
Small wins, huh?
and one was Daniel Rich. So both really let me down.
Small wins. Anyway, we'll do our players of the week. Not too many young guns really took off this week due to the lack of games. So the players of the week are a little bit more mundane in terms of what's the one after? Young kids. They're a bit more established players this week.
And less players to choose from. So
Exactly.
A lot
We
of
had
the
5 games.
a lot of the young players were out of the games this week. So you had like all the Collingwood boys out, and you had all the Demons boys out.
Can you believe we didn't pick an Essendon young gun? You know, the most hottest commodity in the world is the Essendon kids.
Well, Harry Jones was elite.
He
on
was
the
very
weekend.
good.
He was so good.
He probably
But
could have got it. But anyway, moving on.
Where were all the other kids? Jake Stringer, 10 kilos overweight still, had to show up.
He was unbelievable.
Bloke's a gun. I said before the game,
Yeah.
get on him for 20. He's $4.50 for 20, and I got him for most goals at $7, and I was loving it.
He nearly had most touches and most goals.
Yeah, he
wasn't
just
far
went
off,
off.
was he? Anyway,
Amazing game.
Then we'll preview the next round. Back to finally normal rounds of football. Thank God for that. And Thursday night footy. Thank God for that too.
Yep.
And then we'll finish up with our hot wings.
And what's happened with this Port game? Friday night?
So we've gone from Saturday 7:10 to Saturday 4:05.
Oh,
and
that's
now it's still not confirmed if it's even going to be here.
Oh, interesting.
They're still thinking about moving it to GMHBA Stadium, due to the fact that SA Health might not allow Sydney to come in.
Interesting, yeah, because obviously
16
New
new
South Wales
cases
blowing
today.
up now.
They moved out of Sydney, I think, 2 days ago, but
Yep.
they're still, because they were in a hot spot to begin with, it's still up in airs. So
There you go.
whether I'm there or not, who knows? I mean, oh well, it's a bit of pain in the ass. We've gone from a best time slot to an average twilight to potentially an away game.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll take it, but it is what it is.
So you're telling me the Richmond Saints game was always the Friday night game?
Yep.
Far out, that's horrendous. And
And
remember the
considering
last time
this
they
is
played
not-
on a Friday night?
I didn't
They lost by 129 or something like that? Something stupid.
That's right, and it looked on paper like it was going to be a tight game,
Yeah,
and that's
it
when it
did.
blew it out. Which is pretty sad that they put that as a Friday night, because if you made that at the start of the season, I would have gone, yeah, Friday night. That
Which
looks
we did,
awesome.
yeah.
But they made that Friday night about 2-3 weeks ago. The rolling fixtures, it's got to be better than that.
Exactly.
And this looks like a blockbuster week. There's
Yeah.
about 5 games you could all be better on that Friday night. Heck, I'd rather see North and Gold Coast.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's move on with our review of the round that's gone. I'll kick it off with the Friday night. Yeah, it was Friday night.
Yep.
Gary Rowan produces a bit of magic and kicks it after the siren. Looked like he shanked it. Comes back beautifully.
He was going out in the full.
It didn't look nice off the boot, but I had confidence in him.
Same.
He's one of
I
those
don't know
guys.
why.
He's a dead-eye dick, isn't he? He always has been. He's always been a dead-eye, and
Well, it was
but
like-
it did look pretty though, did it?
It was like Zach Bailey. When
It
Zach
was.
Bailey got
I was more
that ball
confident
against
in him for some
Collingwood, I was just confident in both of them. So, but no, it was an unreal game. Just
Great game of footy.
end to end, fought so hard in shit conditions, to be fair. But
Yeah.
they made the most of it and played some ripper footy. So, no, hats off to both of the teams. Sort of could have been a draw in the end. That would have been a fair result, I reckon.
Yeah.
But no, Geelong just proven they can just get over the line in those hard games, even when players like Duncan go down and then Hawkins went down for 10 minutes or so.
For a random type injury, not too sure.
Yeah, I still don't understand what actually happened.
I think BT's diagnosed him with 7 different injuries. It
Yeah.
was a scratch, a GPS breaking in his back, a disc, a neck, a shoulder. It was everything.
When someone brought up, he goes, like BT's like, I don't know what happened. And then The bloke goes, "Oh, it might be just his GPS." And the guy goes, "Do they still wear them?" Like BT goes, "Do they still wear them?" Blah blah blah. Kept going on, and then BT just took it and ran and goes, "Yeah, I think it might have been his GPS." It's like, mate, you didn't even know they were there.
But no, that was a great game of footy. And when Rowan kicked that goal, it made me realise just how shit football is without fans.
Yeah.
He should have been looked at that crowd and given it a real pump up. Would have been a sellout at GMHBA. It really sucked having only half a stadium there, probably a quarter.
It made it worse because where the goals are, there was no
nothing.
fans.
And to his left, it was nothing. I think
Yeah.
he was on the complete opposite side of the one grandstand where
Yeah.
there was people. So it was the worst position for it. But still a great moment and very well done to Geelong. They are flying.
Yeah, they are.
Moving on to Saturday afternoon. Port, we showed our class, I guess, against a very poor team in Gold Coast. I'm going to say this game speaks more of Gold Coast than Port Adelaide.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
say, fuck, what are they doing wrong? I don't know, because their list isn't that bad.
No, it's decent, and they've
We
been
love their
building a really
coach.
good build.
Anyway, we are back rolling after Doggers impromptu phone call. As we were saying, yes, Gold Coast, well coached as everyone in the AFL says. Stewie Dew might be the most, probably top 5 and highly regarded coaches with nothing to actually prove.
Yeah.
And they're getting smashed week in, week out. Port flogged them from the first minute to the last. What's going on at Gold Coast? Because I've got no idea.
Well, I said it a few weeks ago. I don't understand why Stewie Dew is pretty much the only invincible coach in the entire league.
Yep.
Because no other coach can lose 2 games without copping heaps of flack. We've seen it with Buckley. We're seeing it heaps with David Teague at the moment. But now he's sort of copping the flack that I'd say deserved.
Yeah, I think it's deserved.
Yeah, we do really like Stewie Dew here, but there's only so many nice bloke coaches can exist in the AFL.
Isn't his
so-
first year.
No,
this
third
is
year.
Third or fourth year now. This isn't a bunch of kids. It is, but it's not as bad as it was this time 2 years ago with Luco and Rankin and and Kangol coming in playing no games, and they've got 3 years under the belt of those players, and we've seen what Walsh is doing from that draft and Rosie's doing from that draft. We then can look at, you've brought in people like Atkins, Greenwood, Ellis. You've got older heads around them too. Markov. They've seen some football. It's a good team.
Well, you see that back line, like you look at Charlie Ballard, one of the best intercept defenders in the league right now. You've got Sam Collins, a great shutdown key forward. And then you've got players like Markov and Luco who can use it off the back line. Then you look at
It's
their
a
midfield.
good team.
Yeah, look at the midfield. Took, Hugh Greenwood, Matt Rao, Noah Anderson, Ellis on the wing as well. And
That's
then,
a better midfield 5 if you include Wits. That's a better midfield 5-6 than I would say nearly half the comp.
Yeah,
that's
not
a
wrong.
really good team.
And going forward, you got Ben King, who's like 5th in the Coleman Medal.
Isaac Rankin's a freak.
Yeah, and I just don't understand how they're not performing in at any sort of level at all. Not even contending for like a final berth. Like,
They're
not
literally
even close.
struggling to get out the bottom 4. I thought this was and you said at the start of the year, they're going to be around that 9th, 10th. I
was
think I had them about
convinced.
14th, but even then I still thought I undervalued them. I didn't expect them to be fighting it out with North. I didn't expect them to be a coin flip with North Melbourne right now.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So I don't know what's going on with the Suns. They need to kick up the arse, and I think they will provide it this week, but we'll get to that after. But I don't know. That's enough about this game. But last thing on this game, Ollie Wines,
Huge.
3 Brownlow votes.
Easily.
Into $6 last I
Wow.
checked. Tied second favourite now with I think he's I apologise. It goes Bond at 350 or so, and then
350, is that what he's into?
yeah, and then it's Truck and Oliver and Wines, which are all jumping around. I think Oliver's got a double or 2 in front of them, and then Truck and Wines are about $6-7 each, depending on what agent you use. But yes, into third/fourth favourite.
That's interesting. I don't think Bont got a single vote on the weekend.
No, I don't think so. Well, in a loss too.
in a loss.
Even still, if they won that game, I don't think he got the votes either.
Libber's definitely one of the top vote getters.
Oh, definitely. I think Hunter had a great game too.
Yeah, he did.
So I could see Bont snagging a vote though, because he does get noticed. When
Yeah.
you're a 6'4" big dude who storms forward.
You look at it, you got, what's his name? Tom Stewart getting 3 quite
Yes,
easily.
I think with a lose, he gets 3.
Yeah, and then you get Libber with the 2, and I don't
Yeah.
think Bont would stand out enough to even get the 1.
No,
So
that's the thing. If they won by maybe 20 odd points, he maybe would have snagged the 1. But I think Stewart snagged up 3. No worries.
And
He was great.
And that's the issue. And then McCraig went and got his 35, and was fantastic. But that's the issue with Bont this year. I categorically do not think he can win the Brownlow, especially this year. Absolutely no way. They've lost Adam Treloar and they've lost Josh Dunkley, and I still don't think he'll win it. I think they'll run home for the season. Dunkley and Treloar are going to come back, and he's just really going to struggle to poll the votes. And there's going to be too many players taking votes off of him. So I'll be absolutely shocked if he wins it.
So, as a journalist, I'm going to ask for the clickbait title here. Are you ruling Marcus Bontempelli out of the Brownlow?
Not only will Marcus Bontempelli not win the Brownlow this year, he will not ever win a Brownlow in his career.
Wow.
I can say that with absolute confidence.
Instagram viewers will be seeing this very shortly. Wow, I still think he wins the Brownlow. I think so. Wow. Anyway, okay. You know what? It's headline. Anyway, back to what we were saying. Yep. Yes, Ollie Wines, 3 votes, just flying in. Ollie Wines, he believes what Port Adelaide is of the last 5 years, and that's flat track bullies.
Yeah.
He loves a shit team.
He does.
He loves it. And he's got a lot of them coming up. We've got Hawthorn very soon. We've got, I can't remember our draw, but it sucks. We've got a great, I think, we've got a great draw. We should only drop about three games max here on out. So,
that's right, yeah.
Ollie, Brownlow, he's still overs at $7. Not overs like the 81s when I called it at the start of the year.
Not at all. So I hope all of our faithful listeners got on it, like they got on another one we'll have coming up right here. So
yes. Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next game. That took a minute, didn't it? Lions get the job done and beat North. Not a whole lot to say about anything impressive here. 20-point margin.
Yeah.
Lions got the job done. North, yet again, I've been saying it for nearly like 7 weeks now. North aren't a bad football team.
They haven't had a not close game for the last
a hot minute.
6 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. And they've had draws and wins.
Yep.
They are not a bad team. And they showed that against Brisbane. Tarrant back in the side, which is huge for any team. Any team to have their best key defender back is huge.
And Luke McDonald back as well.
Yep. And like we said, we'll see. And his first game back for a while.
Yeah.
Because his first game back, he only played it down
like
a quarter.
Couple of minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he would fit that back into that team. And that might free up Hall to not just be a kick out. He might be able to play the wing some more.
Yep.
And Zeeble might be able to go forward. Frees him up a lot.
Jed Anderson as well
coming back. He's coming back. So this contradicts everything I'm going to say in about 20 minutes when we do the preview. But I think that's more about North than Lions, but Lions got the job done, and that's all that matters.
Definitely, yeah. Hard conditions as well.
Yeah, moving on. GWS beat the miserable Blues. I think miserable was the best word for Carlton, because this game going in, dare I say, the line was about 12 or 18. I think it was...
Or less than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was saying that actually trying to over-dramatise. I'm pretty sure it was a small line.
Yeah, it was.
It might have been 9.
We were saying it might be the game of the round.
Yeah.
Because of how close it would be.
I think it might have been a 9.5 point line, if I'm honest.
Did you tip Carlton this time?
No, because I said I would never tip him again.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I still haven't, and I didn't. I nearly did as well, but I thought, no, they fucked me over so much. I'm never doing it again. And they did it again. They didn't just lose by 10. They got flogged.
Yeah, the scoreline did them a justice, if anything. They were absolutely dominated in every part of the ball. Sam Walsh...
36 points they lost by.
To be fair, Sam Walsh had the worst game of his career. First time he's ever been tagged, but not a single person was helping him.
That's the thing. Where's Cripper?
Put Cripper in there, put Curnow in there, put anyone in there who can go in and help him be a bit of a tough nut. But they just didn't have any of it. And, Walsh just really struggled, as he would. Like, De Boer is one of the premier taggers of the competition.
Yeah. The best tagger in the comp.
Yeah, quite easily. And, they just did absolutely nothing about it. So
this speaks levels about their depth. They brought in Zach Williams to be that extra midfielder and a bit of dash, a bit of flair. They brought in Saad to take that Williams role that he has left behind in the defence. And Doherty should be doing that role no matter what, regardless.
Yep.
They had... their main ball handler tagged out in Walsh.
Yeah. So
you'd think, all right, Cripps should be standing up. Williams should be standing up. Matthew Kennedy was their next best with 27 touches. A great game by him. Not knocking him at all. But then it goes down to Cripps at 24 and Doherty at 21, and that's it.
Yep.
That's embarrassing.
Shocking.
That's embarrassing.
And where's their huge recruit, Zach Williams?
Where is he?
Nowhere. He's
Jonathan Brown scathed him.
Yep.
On Footy Classified on Monday night, and he's damn right. He's the laziest player in the competition.
He is. You watch his movements and lack thereof.
Unbelievably shit. He is the worst decision I've ever made in my AFL fantasy draft dream team ever.
Quite a popular decision as well.
Oh, at the start, before he got reported, he was I think he was the most selected player before he got that report for week 1. He was on 45% ownership or so before he got that report. He is absolutely garbage. And that team, and it goes on. Doherty 21, Walsh tagged out of it 20, and then Saad 19. It falls off a cliff again after that.
Yep.
We're looking at Curnow 12, Paddy Dow 12 or 13. Sorry, what is that? Jack Martin 11, Williams 11. Jack Martin's getting paid more than fucking Ollie Wines. I think. What is going on there?
Mental. It just doesn't make any sense. And their selection have got no idea as well. Like, you look at Matthew Kennedy, it's his second game for the season, and he's come in and got 27 touches. Bloke is a dead set gun. Every time he plays, he's been unbelievable. He gets like at least 23 in a goal every single time he plays. Did he get a goal this time as well?
No, but he was still third most meters gained on the ground. He moved the ball.
There you go, and that's all he does every time he comes on. He's just an absolute just level of consistency is unbelievable. Goes back to the twos, gets 40 touches, and then they barely ever bring him back because they're playing people like Mark Murphy, who doesn't deserve to be in the side right now.
Or Kerno right now. And it goes deeper than that. Liam Stocker has played probably, a handful of games in his career and played out of position.
Yeah.
He's always been playing on a forward flank.
Yeah, well, still playing in the back lines now.
Oh, they moved him, didn't they? Yes. Yeah. That's not how he was drafted. No. And he comes out and has a great game yet against, what was that?
It's been great since he's come in. He's
18 touches and 6 marks. That's a great effort from a young kid. And he should be given the keys.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't put Paddy Dow in there. Put a big tough body like Liam Stocker in to try and fight off that De Boer tag.
It's unbelievable. And Paddy Dow, I understand, the start of the season. But we've seen it now. That experiment's done.
It's done. Yeah.
It's done.
But you look at their experienced players you could have put in there to help with the De Boer tag, and none of them did. So do you know what they did straight away? They put Sam Walsh to the half forward flank so that De Boer wouldn't go on him. So you take your best midfielder, just take him straight out of the midfield
in a position he can't play.
In a position he can't play because you have no faith in him to beat a tag. He's going to have to beat the tag going through his career, so you may as well teach him now. Your team's in no man's land. They're not going to make finals, and definitely not playing at this rate. Probably not for the next 2 years.
They're team right now.
And then you don't keep him in the mid where he can learn. And who else better to learn from than being tagged by the best tagger in the AFL?
He needs it for his experience. It's work experience right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, I don't want to slame him just yet because I didn't actually watch a whole lot of this game. I watched parts of it. Was Jack Noon subbed out?
No.
He finished with 2 touches.
I think Luke Parks was subbed out, wasn't he?
Well, he finished with 3.
Yeah, he was.
So one of the 2, regardless.
Sure
Parks, I'll give him the credit regardless because he is a defender and young kid. But Jack Newnes, another one of those players. 2 touches for the game.
Yeah.
What's going on at Carlton? We've got the jersey behind us, and we get hot-headed about Carlton because I had him in my top 4. You had him I think you had him finals or very close to it.
Yeah.
They should not be doing this.
Yeah.
At all. It makes no sense. And there's no injury excuses anymore.
And you look at GWS's injury list.
It's been the worst all year.
The worst in the comp the entire year. They've lost their captain. They've lost both their key defenders who are now back for this game. They've lost
underdone by the
everyone.
way. Phil Davis completely underdone.
Oh, yeah,
should
100%.
be getting torn apart by the Coleman medalist now $1 million a year, however much they paid him.
Yeah, same with Haynes.
Oh, it's
yeah, and then Jacob Hopper, as we called on the Winger podcast.
Yes, we did.
Went in and had an unbelievable game. Just tore up their midfield. Was taking the piss. There was so many with that Jonathan Brown thing you were saying. I think it was on Bounce. Jonathan Brown just went through and picked out 7 key moments where they were just in no man's land, all of their defenders. And then he goes, I could sit here for hours and go through it. And he's right.
He's right.
The entire game is a piss take.
They're lazy.
They're lazy. They're not running. They're not running hard. None of them want to chase after the ball. And it's just an absolute piss take. But there was a really damning one where I saw it was Whitfield. He came from the half back line and he just ran straight through the wing, got the hands, and then sent it right to Toby Green, I think, for the mark. There was 7 Carlton players 50 metres in front of him running.
And no one cared.
And he just breezed past them all of them.
It's unbelievable.
They were literally in a line like that, and he just breezed straight past them. Not a single one ran for him. Shocking. And they're playing, what's his name? Bloody Zach Williams is a defender when bloke has not a single defensive bone in his body. Neither does Sard, neither does
Recruited as a midfielder.
Yeah, recruited as a midfielder, paid $800K, and doesn't have neither of them have a defensive bone in their body. And they're all playing in the back lines.
And Doherty's no different either. He's probably a winger, if we're being honest, the way he plays. Put in defence, and now you've got 3 of them all going around playing the same halfback flank disposal role.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
work. Same with Newman as well. I really do like Newman.
Another one.
But he just doesn't have that defensive capability or awareness. You're relying on a first-year player in Parks who was wasn't really touted to get drafted as of a year and a half ago. You're bringing him straight in, he's a lock in your backline, along with Liam Stocker, who's a defender. And then obviously you got Liam Jones and Wiedering, who are fantastic. But you can't just rely on those two.
No.
And you can't rely on first-year players to do that sort of role. It's just too hard.
Every team needs a halfback flanker, but you don't need 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Port had to deal with that. We've had too many half-back flankers, so we move things around. You can't just keep playing 4 players in the same position. It just makes no sense.
It's a joke.
So, and even when Newman wasn't in the team start of the year, they were still having this issue. So, yes, apologies if you're a Carlton fan at home or you don't give a shit about Carlton, but we just can't. They are the biggest piss take of a team for the last couple of years now. I don't even want to keep going. They are a joke, and I don't know what's going on with them at all.
I think it's just a culture.
It's a culture and a coaching issue for me now.
Yeah.
But then maybe it's not because they turned over coaches.
Well, David T just seems too soft to me.
Yeah, I think Bolton was as well.
Yeah,
and now T come over. It's just they need a Mick Malthouse.
Yeah, I was thinking Mick Malthouse. Obviously, he won't come in.
No, but he'll be.
Get someone like that who's just got.
I'll be paying him $1 million. I'll be paying him Williams' wage in a heartbeat.
100%.
That's what they need. They need some tough love.
Get a bit of grunt in there, and for the young players, it will do them the world of good. So,
you know what they'll do? They'll sack Teague and they'll hire Michael Voss, and it'll be the same old shit.
Really?
Yep, that's what they'll do. That's not a hot wing. That's just a shout. Yeah, 100%. He's a nice assistant coach. He's not a head coach.
Yeah, well, you look at the top coaches in the league right now, like Chris Fagan, Chris Scott, Damien Hardwick, Kent Hinkley. They're all just absolute dickheads. Like
Clarko.
Everyone hates him, but the players would just have that much respect for him.
Yep.
That was Simon Goodwin's issue. He was always like nicey nice, like went around, gave every player a hug. But now you see him like veins popping out, he's getting pissed off.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to win games.
And they brought in people around him to try, like Choco, who can
Alan
mate, you need to start fucking giving some grunt. Because you can't be Mr. Nice Guy. It doesn't get nice guys finish last.
Yep.
And if you want to keep coming last, maybe that's what Stuart Jew's issue is. Maybe.
Yeah, seems that way.
I don't know. And he's got a different job for me, considering it's working more with kids, whereas Carlton, big multi-million-dollar brand, they've got stars.
Yep.
Cripps is a favourite for a Brownlow every year.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, enough about Carlton because we could go on about it for days. We gave GWS nothing there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, GWS were fantastic.
Great win, GWS.
Lockie Whitfield, Jacob Hopper, Toby Green, and Finn Layson kicked 6. So they were all fantastic. But yeah, once again, this game we say it every week, this game speaks more of Carlton than it does of anyone else. So
sure does.
And their injury list isn't too long. So
it's shortening now. Canelio's back in a couple of weeks, apparently. So
I was meaning Carlton, but yeah.
Oh, Carlton, sorry. GWS, their list is shortening.
Well, yeah.
Considering it was so long, it's shortening. All right, moving on. Finally. Essendon get over the line to beat the Hawks and Tassie. Closer game than expected.
Yep, much closer.
But I think we did both say this because I said Essendon are overrated as fuck. And I thought this won't be a blowout at all. I think I even may have said Hawthorn line because it was like 25 or something stupid.
Was it really?
Yeah, but Essendon, they're not that bad of a team. So great win by Essendon. Stringer just put on a show.
He did. He took over the game when the kids weren't doing it, and that's what you need. Like go back to Carlton again, you just need those sort of class players to step up when like a Walsh or something like that is out of the game. So you saw Parrish was just completely out of the game, had 9 touches in the first half. Even Zerrett wasn't stepping up too much in the first half. But Jake Stringer just was unbelievable. He had 29 and kicked 4. I think he had 2 behinds as well. So could have had
29 and 4.
Yeah, could have had an even bigger game.
And another part, 29, 4 and 7 tackles.
Huge.
Never has he ever been considered that.
Never.
Not even when he was a forward, he was never a pressure forward. He was a flair forward, never a pressure forward. That's an amazing game.
Yeah, and we were wondering who would go in for Andrew McGrath when he came out.
But not like this.
Well, I said I think he'll play more mid-time.
Yeah, maybe another 20%.
No,
not this.
He would have had like over 80% of CBAs.
Oh, he was everywhere.
He was unbelievable, and he just showed that he has the tank to do so. So I think just from that game alone, he might have just earned himself a new contract because it's contract year, and if he's going to show that in the midfield, then why not keep him in?
Why not play him there? It's always been his tank's been the issue. He's much like a Jordan DeGoey. So, but if he can get that tank going.
Well, you look at it, 2 players that they've never played in the midfield before, Darcy Parish and Jake Stringer, they put him in, they start winning games.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Imagine
Who would have thunk it?
Imagine if they started both there with Zerrett at the start of the year. Who would have thought? Okay? Instead of recruiting 700k Dylan Shield.
Yeah.
He's got to come back into that team and can't play inside, has to play outside.
I've no idea what he's going to do.
He can't kick and he's only outside.
And he's shocking.
What do they do with him?
Most shocking kick in the AFL.
Parrish has taken his role twofold.
Yeah.
Anyway, Essendon, we'll talk about that when it comes to it. But Essendon, great win. And
Harry Jones, huge as well.
Harry Jones, I'm sick of the Essendon kids hype, but they played very well. So credit where credit is due.
Exactly.
All right, that's the round because only 5 games. So a nice short one. We had to make up for the 5 games, obviously, and spend 3 games worth on Carlton because they deserve it.
Just had to get that off our chest.
Oh God, it's like it boils up me.
It does.
Oh. Anyway,
Look, I got all the teams signed that.
Yep.
Worthless now.
yeah, well, you wouldn't even be able to sell. You wouldn't even be able to sell it for a freaking material price. You'd be lucky to get.
Not really. Thank you for whoever
Yeah, thank you for
donated
the
that.
gate. Whoever donated that, Dogger? Who donated it?
Gov.
Thank you, Gov.
Thanks, Gov. Appreciate it.
All right, maybe if Gov played, it'd be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Probably not. Anyway, love you, Gov. All right, we get players of the week. Moving on. My player of the week. I'm going with, like we said earlier, no real kids were flying due to the lack of games. So, gone with a more mid-tier, both of us players this week. I've gone with Sam Menegola from Geelong. For two reasons here. He had a great game. Obviously, they got the win against the Bulldogs in a thriller. He had, I'll get up the stats to be exact, but he had about 27 touches and snagged 2 goals, which is
That's a classic Sam Menegola game from last year.
It is, and that's what he can do. He's never he when he has the license to do it, he does it. But when he doesn't have the license, he's useless. He's
Goes
just
missing so quickly.
It's like when they used to play Selwood on a half forward. It's like, what do you want him to do? But when you give him Selwood in the midfield, he makes it happen. Menegola, much the same. You give him a wing to himself, you go, oh, all right, you're a really good player. So Menegola, 27 and 2. I'll get that up right now just to be exact. But a fantastic game by him. And I think now that with Mitch Duncan out, which is why I made this a winger player of the week, he's going to start averaging about 27 and 1 a game from here on out. He was a pig in fantasy last year.
Might do it again now.
And I think he's going to become a really, really good player from here on out. So much like my hot wing with Titch, I think Menegola's going to have the same back half of the season and be that. He's going to be I think he's going to be that. That enigma for Geelong because we know what Danger and Guthrie are going to do. We know that. Who's going to be that extra player that takes that extra mile? Who's going to be that Zach Butters that gives you that flea? You don't expect it and turn it on. Who's going to do that? And I think it's going to be Sam Menegola.
And it's players like that you need to win games.
Oh, 100%.
So when they step
100%.
up, they're like a Reece Matheson barometer
Yep.
for your side. Like you look at the Doggies team, you got obviously Bont can be a game winner, McRae's unbelievable, Dunkley, Treloar, etc., etc. But when players like Bailey Smith, Lockie Hunter, Caleb Daniel really step up, that's when you're winning games.
Yeah,
that's when your team is rolling. Same with the Demons as well. So we've had like a Tommy McDonald constantly step up this season, hence why we're getting so many wins at the moment. So you just need that sort of player, and Sam Menegola can 100% be that player. Showed it last year, even in the grand final. Kicked 2 in the grand final.
And he can kick a goal. This man can kick a goal.
Anywhere inside 55 is range for him.
Yeah,
huge kick.
He reminds me of Elliot Yeo so much. The way that he can go, not in the tackling sense, but the way he can take a mark anywhere and he can slot it. So Menegola, I think he's definitely my player of the week, and I reckon I'll be seeing him again, the Winger player of the week, by the end of the season. So
Definitely.
Congratulations, Sam Menegola.
Yeah, so mine this week should be no surprise whatsoever. I want to do a couple of honourable mentions. So we had, obviously Ollie Wines went absolutely berserk. Jake Stringer went wild. And also, who was I thinking
Harry
before?
Jones.
Yeah, Harry Jones went well as well. But no, this week, it's obvious who I'm going to pick. I called him last week for most touches at $7 he opened at. And I called him for 25, which was even, or was part of Matt's multi, but it was even at like $2, I think so. But no, it's Jacob Hopper. So he had an unbelievable game. I think he even kicked a goal. Did he?
He did. Get that goal in the siren.
Did he?
Was that a goal?
No, that was Toby Green, the torpedo.
No. At the very end of the game to get the
did he
winning
really?
touch. He took a mark inside 50, and I reckon he went back and kicked it.
Oh, there you
The
go.
last kick of the game.
Oh, I couldn't tell you, maybe. But yes,
check that.
so unbelievable goal, unbelievable game from him. If he's adding,
it was.
It was.
It was, yeah.
If he's adding getting a goal a game to his resume, then he's going to be unreal. So 27 touches, most on the ground, and probably had a few tackles to go with that as well. So he was really their main ball winner when players like Taranto and Kelly sort of went missing a little bit. But yeah, really stepped up, and sign of things has come for him for sure. But congratulations, Jacob Hopper.
And that is one thing I love about GWS. When you had a game where midfield had his standard 26 to 32 as he does every game. Kelly, much the same. But Taranto, who's been your 32 pretty much all year, didn't have it.
But Taranto was
Picked it
impressive
up.
because he had about 23, 24 touches, but he really impressed on other sides of the ball. So he had like plenty of tackles. He was really good defensively. Had a few marks as well.
He had
So
12 tackles.
12.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I didn't think he had that many.
No, he had
Shit.
12. Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah, and 11 marks as well. So yeah, huge game sort of with the marking and with the tackles. So
No
obviously
wonder.
the marking just unlocks players like Whitfield to stream past and get the handball received. So huge game from Taranto, even if he didn't impact on that side of the ball. But no, just really impressive from him. And obviously, impressive game from De Boer as well.
Yeah.
So.
No wonder he had 145 fantasy points.
Yeah.
If 24 touches, imagine if he got his normal 30, that would have been one of the most pigged out games you've ever seen.
Not wrong.
Anyway, well done to Jacob Hopper and to GWS. We now roll on to our, our preview for next week. Well, tomorrow, kicking off Thursday night.
Exciting.
This would usually be the game of the round, no matter what. It is still the game of the round.
Yeah,
but this round of footy is the most excited I've been for a round of footy ever, and the hardest tips I reckon I've ever done.
Yeah, and that's what makes it good.
Oh,
this is
awesome.
This is what separates the good from the great tippers.
Oh, 100% it is.
And I'm nervous.
I reckon there's 5 50-50 games this week, and that's I'll call it 5. So this is going to be exciting. Thursday night, Lions and Cats, 5.5. So goal margin is the line.
Yep.
Lions in favour. I think it's a goal line no matter whoever's playing at home. So I think it's in Cats, they're minus. They're 6-point favourite. It's same. I'm going the Lions for 2 reasons. 1, it's at home, and 2, it's at home.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be taking the Lions as well. I think they've been flying of late. And do they get Zorko back this week as well, which
back
is huge.
straight in, and the barometer has dropped.
Yep.
Geelong have not dropped, but lost Mitch Duncan and replaced him with Henderson, who was laid out.
And dropped Sparkle Knuckle as well, which none of us like. None of us like that he's been dropped, by the way. We do like Sparkle Knuckle.
One of the unluckiest players in the AFL.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's Geelong.
If he could go to even a Richmond or a Freo or something,
I think he goes to a Freo. He's a lock every minute.
Yeah.
So.
But no, so yeah, it should be a ripper game. We're hoping so.
Can't
I think Geelong might be a little bit mentally drained from last game. Obviously, they got pushed right to the end. So, yeah, I'm going to be taking Brisbane here just because, as you said, it is at the Gabba.
Clear skies, no rain.
Clear skies, perfect. So, yeah, I think Lockie Neal is going to get held to bugger all touches in this. I think they're going to do a job on him with O'Connor once again. But I think that sort of defensive, outlook is really just going to affect them. So I think Lions are going to take over and McCluggage is going to take over and Zorko. So it's going to be a really good game. But I think, Lions will win this one for me.
Yeah, I agree. And no pun intended, but Jared Lyons from the Lions, he is the key to this team.
Yeah.
And I think with Neil coming back, he becomes more freed, which doesn't make any sense normally, but Neil will then take the tags, takes the attention, and Lyons is going to be the beneficiary. He's going to get less contested ball, more uncontested ball on the outsides. He's the key, and I think if you don't have him in your fantasy team, you're crazy. He needs to get in ASAP because he's only going to get better, I think, with Neil back.
Yeah, he's a must-have.
Yeah, 100%. So I think we'll both have the Lions, and I won't be taking any lines in this game. I'll be taking Lions, line, and line. Anyway, I won't be taking any handicap lines in this one. I'll just be taking Lions head-to-head.
And I see this game really being a test of Geelong. So more so a test of their back line. So you've got obviously Danaher, Hipwood, and even McStay as well, who's proven he's a really good key forward as well.
Yep.
I think it's really going to stretch out Geelong's back line with Henderson, Henry, and Stewart, obviously, and Buse. Yeah. So I think Buse will have the job on McCarthy, but it's just really going to test them.
Yeah.
Really going to test them in this. So, and Charlie Cameron, how can I even forget? Yeah. So, I'll be surprised if they can keep up with how many key forwards and how good the key forwards of the Lions are. But also on the other end for the Cats, going to test them. The Lions have a really good tall back line. So it's just really well set up. So it's just going to be really hard for them. We saw a lot of our tools for the Demons struggle against the Lions. So I think it might be much the same for the Cats.
I think Lions are the only defence that can give Geelong a run for their money, just because Harris Andrews can nullify whoever he's on.
Yeah.
Hawkins or Cameron,
almost,
he makes it an even game.
Almost can nullify the whole inside 50.
He's that good.
He's that good.
Yeah, he can honestly make the 2 best key forwards in the comp just become 1.
Yep.
You only have one to deal with. So that's the big thing. Anyway, both taking the Lions there. Moving on, Richmond 28.5 point favourites taking on the Saints on Friday night. Sorry.
Yep.
I'll be taking Richmond in a head-to-head in tips.
Yep.
But my God, I'm taking that Saints line and I'm hammering it.
100%. I think the Saints coming off the bye, they're going to be nice and well rested. Obviously, Richmond are off the bye as well. But the Saints get back Rowan Marshall, which is probably the biggest key to this entire game.
He is the...
Yeah, I think, obviously you've got Chol and Coleman Jones, but I think they're really going to struggle against this.
Is Nank not back? No, cool.
He's another 2 to 4 weeks, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, but I think they're going to really struggle in the tall sector. So I'll definitely be taking Saints line. Might even have a play at Saints head-to-head.
$5.
Yeah, $5.
Huge odds.
Huge.
Way overs.
And
way overs.
Is it MCG or Marvel?
MCG. If it's that Marvel, I'll get really excited. But
yeah, not wrong. But yeah, Ryan Marshall back just unlocks their forward line so much. You see players like Max King really thrive when Ryan Marshall goes up there to sort of take a bit of the load off him.
Ryder too.
And yeah, Ryder as well. So I think, yeah, with Ryder and Marshall going in to that ruck, it's just going to, like, that's
against
where Richmond
no
are good. Yeah, against no ruck. Richmond are really going to lose the game there. So I'll be taking Richmond in tips because I care about my tipping. Yeah. But no, I'm going to go with, I reckon I'll go with the Saints on the podcast. Why not?
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, the Saints line, I think that's nearly my favourite bet of the week.
Yeah.
So, love that. Moving on now to the Saturday afternoon before I jump the gun. This is the second 50-50 game for me. I've got them the wrong way around on here. Anyway, we're going to start off with Collingwood and Fremantle.
Yep.
Tough game.
Very.
Fremantle have injuries, and a lot of them, and Fife, I believe, still out. So it's a lot of injuries.
Might be back. He's a test.
He's a test, is he? Fuck, that's huge.
That is huge.
So that may swing my vote.
Fife pending.
Yeah, maybe, but no, I think I'll be taking Collingwood with Grundy should be back.
Yeah, he is.
And I think they've got a couple more. I think even Adams was a test last I heard.
Yeah, he should be back as well.
I think
impressed at training.
And like you said earlier off the mic, that new coach, starting to prove and showed something against you guys 2 weeks ago. I'm taking Pies.
They're trying new things as well, Collingwood. So obviously Robert Harvey's come in as the head coach, so he was the defensive coach. Now Brent Sanderson's been thrown from the forward line to the back line. And they've brought in Scott Selwood as their... Oh, no, sorry. Brent Sanderson was midfielder, has gone to the back line. Brought in Scott Selwood as their midfield coach.
Scott Selwood?
Yeah, it's a bit random, hey?
He only retired, a year or two ago?
Yeah, not long ago. Right. But no, so Scott Selwood coming in as that midfield coach. And I think they're just going to throw the magnets around a little bit. I think you'll see a lot of the big guns in the midfield, so Pendles and Sidebottom spending a lot of time through the midfield, where they 100%. Haven't this season so far. But no, and I think, what's his name? Jamie Elliott's going to have a field day at Marvel. So yeah, Docker's just absolutely ravaged in that back line. You've seen, Cox is now out for the season, actually.
Poor bugger.
So yeah, that's a bit brutal for him because he was just on a tear. He was playing really well, SA boy. But no, so I'll be taking Collingwood in this one, 1-39. I think it's good value at 220. Yeah. And yeah, I think Collingwood will win this one just with a new coach coming back and Frere's injuries. So
tend to agree. Collingwood tips and line for me at 5.5. I think they win by about 8 to 10.
As a juicy line, actually.
Yeah, 5.5. I think 8 to 10. They're about 8. They're a 2-3 goal win, I'd say. Yep. So moving on to the next Saturday afternoon at the game at the same time, North Melbourne and Gold Coast down in Hobart. This is the third 50-50 game for me of the week. I've tossed and turned about this because I've been the biggest North Melbourne fan. If you didn't know who I was, you'd probably think I could be a North Melbourne fan on the podcast.
Carlton.
Or Carlton. No, not anymore. But yes, you'd think I might be a North Melbourne fan because I've probably tipped them 6 times this year. And I'm not going to tip them this time. I think that North can win this game. And I think that they are a real hot chance. Especially with their players going back and being in Hobart. However, I think Gold Coast have had so much critics about them, and they have to win a game. This post buys record, post round 14 onwards, is a joke. They have to win a game, and I think Gold Coast
only won 3 games in their entirety in the second half of the season.
It's scary. That's scary stats. So I'll be taking Gold Coast here. They need this win.
Yeah, no, I'll be going complete opposite. Going North Melbourne here quite confidently. I'll even take North Melbourne's line comfortably as well. So I think, North just on a bit of a sort of a tear at the moment. Like aside from their fourth quarters, I think if you take away their fourth quarters, their average losing margin is like 5.
Been saying it all year.
Points.
They're a good team.
They are, and look, average losing margin is about 5 points, and they would have won like 2 or 3 games over the last 6 weeks if they take out the fourth quarter. So I think, I don't think they'll need the fourth quarter against the Suns because the Suns haven't proved anything in the fourth quarter. So
haven't proved anything all year.
Especially because it's a Blundstone as well. They've been playing that for the last few weeks and they know how to play there. But I'll be taking North here in a pretty easy one.
I'll be checking the sports bet markets. I'll be putting $5, no more, on a draw for this game.
A draw?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You heard it here first.
Wonder
draw
what
for North
$36, $41.
Gold Coast. Pro play 100 to 1. Now, moving on to the next Saturday now afternoon, move to 4:05. Just breaking news, move from 7 to 4. Port and Swans. Port are 20.5-point favourites against the Swannies. We will have Robbie Gray replaced by Dylan Williams, which has been confirmed.
Was that confirmed?
Yes, just confirmed today, I believe.
How good is that? Where's he from?
Victorian boy, not an SA boy. From Victoria, I believe. Definitely not SA, but he's a Victorian boy. Picked him up in the draft, I think 2 years ago now. Second round 23, pick 23, I believe.
There you go. Very specific.
Really liked the deal since the day we drafted him because he has that Robbie Gray type quality where he can just be a real match winner, a bit of a star, and especially around the forward 50. And we've just got my dog walking in, so hopefully you can't hear her. Anyway, he will replace. He kicked 6 goals last week in the Sandful, so well deserved upgrade into the team, especially with Robbie Gray. Unfortunately, going out for the rest of the home and away season.
Yep.
But Port should be winning this game at home. 20.5 points is about dead on, I want to say. I call this about 22. I had about 22-point margin for me. That's why I tipped them by the pub. It was 22. So I wouldn't take the line because it's about dead on for me. But Port should be winning this.
And who comes in for Lockie Jones?
No idea. Probably Hartlett straight in off
Hartlett,
Stimmy sub. But he's on the outer right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if we shuffle the deck around and put Bonner back in maybe.
Yeah.
But I'll be shocked. I think Hartlett gets the roll back. I think we need his experience.
Yep. And Ryan Burton is all good and well.
Thank God. Inside news.
Inside news. Did see him the other day. Asked him how the body's feeling, and he said it's feeling really good. So
Was he lying through his teeth?
maybe.
Yeah.
He didn't look very good. He was hobbling around like an old man.
He's always hobbling around.
Yeah, not wrong. But no, Ryan Burton, good fella. I'll be taking Port in this one quite easily. I think Sydney had a bit of a purple patch at the start of the season, and they've been exposed by teams even like Hawthorn. So I think Port would just prove that their pedigree, regardless of where it is. Whether it's Adelaide Oval or you said it could be at GMHBA.
Could be at GMHBA. I think it should be here, but it's still up in arms.
Yeah, we'll see how we go with this COVID business. It's all over the shop. So, no, I'll be taking Port in this one in a pretty easy one. But on to the next game. Game of the round.
You love it, don't you? Straight off the Port game into the game of the round.
Game of the round, mate.
Anyway, let me preview it, mate. Essendon plus 22 as Melbourne gone in 22.5-point favourites against the Bombers. At the MCG, Essendon and Bombers.
Yep.
Essendon and Bombers. Essendon and Melbourne. I think Essendon line is potentially juicy.
Yep.
And I'm not against it, but I've been slamming Essendon for weeks thinking they're not as good as everyone thinks, and they showed me that last week with a pretty average beat of Hawthorn. So I think Melbourne respond after their loss a fortnight ago in the Queen's birthday clash, and I think Melbourne win this by about 20.
Yeah, I think, I'm in the same boat as you. I think we win it. Not too comfortably, but the sort of the games you've been accustomed to seeing this season, 20, 30-point wins.
Yeah.
And I just think we're going to be too much for their forward line. I don't think their forward line's good enough to outduel our back line. Like Jake Lever and Stephen May are just going to take intercept marks for days. So because Cale Hooker's not really much of a matchup for May, in my opinion. Saying that, he'll go kick 6 now that I've said that.
Or kick into man of the mark and not kick a goal all game.
Yeah, not wrong. So I think the first time this season he hasn't kicked a goal.
Was it really?
I don't know. That's your stat, mate. I don't know. But no.
I think it choose what I want.
Yeah, not wrong. But yeah, so I think Demons will win this one. Essendon are always going to give us a run for our money. They've been playing well lately. They've had a really good game last week. Obviously, we spoke about.
Best young but grade in the AFL.
Yeah, sure. But no, I think we're just going to outwork them and just show our class without the rest that we had as well. Should be really good. Melbourne by 20, I reckon.
This will be the game where Melbourne lead by 12 to 18 points all game. Melbourne kick 1, Essendon kick 1. Melbourne kick 1, Essendon kick 1. Melbourne kick 2, Essendon kick 2. It'll be a 12, 18-point margin all game. It's going to be a boring game to watch. Anyway, on to Sunday games now. That's Sunday night. Yes, onto the Sunday games. The Giants, who are 6.5-point favourites, taking on Hawthorn. How was there a 6.5-point line for this game?
Did they not watch the footy last week?
Did they not watch a single thing? Have they not watched this whole entire season? Took the words out of my mouth. Hawthorn they beat Sydney. Hats off.
Yeah.
Alistair Clarkson knows how to win in a primetime game, and Sydney are not a great team. They are a team who, like we said, Purple Patch is over.
Yep.
Essendon, exactly the same. Most overhyped young kids team in the AFL, and they just had not even a good game. Yep. Essendon. Hawthorn, still lost.
Yeah, like their best player went missing.
Exactly.
And Hawthorn
Langford's been their new bit of fun, and he did nothing.
Yeah.
And you're giving GWS, who've been a solid team all year, despite the injuries, now with a lot of players back, 6 points.
And,
That's it.
And obviously, Matty De Boer is just shown he's completely back now, and he's going to dominate Tom Mitchell.
Exactly. And if he doesn't get 36 touch, and you know what, it wouldn't even be a shot if they put him on a Jaeger O'Meara if they had to as well.
Yeah.
Just to shut down any sort of game winning.
Yeah.
Oh, I think GWS by 30.
Yeah, I think GWS, I wouldn't take GWS 1 to 39.
No.
Purely because I could think there's a huge possibility they win by 40. So
That line was the best bet of the year for me.
yeah, it's 6.5 is just well under.
Done.
So get on it quickly before Sportsbet listen to this and drift it out, which they're always going to. They always listen to the Winger podcast and change their markets accordingly.
It's a pain in the ass.
Oh well, but no, I think this will be a reasonably big bet for me. I reckon GWS win this one very comfortably. And I'd where is it? No, it can't be Giant Stadium. Where is it?
It's been moved to the MCG.
Oh yeah, this still doesn't matter.
That's the only reason why I think it's not anything more than that.
Yeah.
And even still, I don't give a shit.
No.
So that's the bet of the year.
And Toby Green is gonna ravage them.
He might kick 6, and I would not. Oh,
He loves the MCG. His record on the MCG is like ridiculous for kicking goals.
I think he's 6+. He's going to be.
He's only played there once this year. He kicked 6. So
There we go. That might be the multi of the week. It might be
Something in
Cam's multi there. GWS 40+, Toby 6.
there you go.
101, I think I pay. All
And
right.
Tom Mitchell unders.
Yeah, 100%. Moving on to this is another game which very easily.
If you win that, I'll be so pissed.
That's what I
You
do.
say one multi ever, and you fucking get it.
I'll post it on Instagram.
And it
as
was
well.
mine. It was mine anyway.
Not really. I'll post it on the Instagram as well. Now moving on to the game which could have been a Friday night any week ever. Should have been the Friday night this week. West Coast taking on the Bulldogs on a Sunday afternoon. What a game.
Yeah.
West Coast have a lot of their big grade back. I cannot confirm exactly, but Shuey should be back. Kelly should be back. McGovern and Shepherd. Not sure.
Kelly?
Yes. And not Sean Duggan, but that was reported on 7 News Perth about a few days ago that those 4 should be back.
But Duggan was already in.
Was Duggan already back in? I think you got Duggan's fine then. But those, he was one that I wasn't sure if he was back already or not. But those 4 were reported to be back. Arguably their best 4 players.
Yeah.
So that's huge. And I'm taking the Dogs.
Yeah, I think
3.5 point line, by the way.
I hate it, but I said at the start of the season, when Eagles are home, I'll take them. When they're away, I'll go against them. Eagles, I'm going to be taking them at home. I don't like it. They got the best tall forward line in the competition, and the Bulldogs have the least or the worst.
Best forward line, period.
No, not period. Have you haven't heard of the Demons?
Best forward line, period.
And yeah, the Dogs have just struggled this year against key forwards, and Alex Keith can't do it all against all of them. So I'm going to be taking Eagles here, regrettably. But yeah, I think they're just going to dominate them in the air and just sort of play the Eagles game. We saw Freo were even able to play their own game against the Dogs in Perth. And the Dogs won quite a scrappy one. So I'll be taking the Eagles here. I don't think the Dogs are going to have the ability to overtake them with their height, their strength, and playing at home as well. Just Dogs don't like playing at Optus. So
I can't see the ball even getting towards their forward line. I think Bont has locked for 3 Brownlow votes, unfortunately, this game.
Interesting.
McRae 40, Bont 30 and 3. It's going to be, I think,
I hope that happens.
that midfield and Libba. Shuey's underdone. Kelly's underdone. McGovern doesn't need to be underdone. He's always going to work it out regardless. But I love the Dogs in this game. I think, and let's be honest, they beat Geelong last week. Let's be real, they beat Geelong. They're the better side. Tom Stewart just had a day out and a goal after the siren. That's all only reason why they lost.
Yeah.
So Dogs for me, they won't lose 2 in a row. They're too good of a team.
Fair.
Now the last game. This is the other 50-50 game of the week for me. Cohen, I said on the podcast, Cohen minus 8.5 point favourites. I said on the podcast about 5 weeks ago I would never tip Cohen ever again. And here I am, and I won't be. And I'm tipping them against a team I hate more than Carlton, which is the Crows.
This is a big shout for you.
I can't stand Carlton, and I don't know why I know why they're 8.5 point favourites, because it's at Marvel. Then I realised Marvel means nothing, because your team sucks anyway. I don't see how that Crows, as much as we bag them, they're not a bad team.
Yeah.
They've won games they shouldn't have won. Melbourne, Geelong, to name a couple, and they win games they should win. And they also win games they shouldn't win against St Kilda, down 30 points in the first quarter to come back and win. So I don't know why Blues are faves at all. Don't get it. I think Crows win this. They're a better side.
Yeah. I'm going to be going the opposite. This might be one of the least viewed games of this year.
I have no intention of watching it.
Well, it collides with the other game.
And if this was a standalone game by itself in the middle of COVID, I wouldn't watch it.
Fair enough.
If I was in Sahara Desert and this is the only thing on, I wouldn't watch it.
I'm going to be taking Carlton in this one. I think they have to respond. The Sunday night game is the last game you want for a team that is struggling and a team that is under such media pressure that it's so much media pressure it's not even funny. I think Carlton have to win this game. Like, there's no doubt about it. Gonna go a bit of a Euros theory here. They just have to win the game. It's the last game of the group stage to get through. You have to win.
So what about the other games that they've all lost? Considering they've won like 3 games all year.
No, this is the game they have to win. Have to win.
Have to. Last time they played, I believe this was the first game. Was this not this time last year? Was this not the game that Crows finally broke their voodoo after going 16-0, whatever it was? 0-16, sorry. I reckon this might have been the first game that they won last year.
No, it was against the Hawks.
Against the Hawks.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they won this game last year anyway. It might have been their second one then or something.
Yeah, because they went on like a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, they did. Oh, I just don't really take my tip on this too much, but I just can't take Cullen.
Just more emotionally tipped.
Oh, and I hate Crows. This is just pulling me apart. But Crows line, love it. 8.5, love it.
Fair
All right, that's our preview done.
Yep.
Wow, we went to depth there, didn't we?
Yep.
All right,
Another
now
episode.
let's get this ball rolling. Matt's multi.
Matt's multi back again. Don't want to speak about last week. Wasn't very good. Started off very well. Slowly fell off a cliff.
We'll have a sponsor next week. Disclaimer.
Sponsor next week.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So make sure you check out our sponsor next week.
Not taking the piss either.
No, dead set.
Yeah.
So obviously Matt's Multi gets to sponsor best segment in the show. You'll ask for it. We had about 18 emails of sponsorship come in about Matt's Multi?
28.
28, sorry. But yeah, so
And 27 with Docker.
all right, let's go. So Matt's Multi this week. We got first game, Pies. New coach, Robert Harvey.
Love it.
This is more of an emotional thought one. Pies 1-39. I think they're going to try a few new things. I think Jamie Elliott's going to snag a few huge ins with Brody Grundy, obviously, and Taylor Adams. So I'm going to be taking Pies 1-39 at $2.10.
$2.10 is nice.
Good
Nice.
value. And Freo haven't shown me anything that I would like to bet on them. So
And that's when they weren't injured.
exactly.
Moving on.
And next one, we go on North Melbourne, Gold Coast game. Gold Coast been giving up heaps to midfielders
So much.
in terms of possessions, even more in the last 5 games. So I'm going to be taking Shai Simpkin, if you want to go 25 on him. Sorry, Shai Simpkin.
That's our nickname. We call him the Shy Simp.
Shai Simp, yeah,
Yeah.
because he's just a
simp.
simp, and
He's
we
a simp.
actually don't like him. But I'm coming to the other side for him, so or whatever people say about it. But no, I'll be taking Jai Simpkin, 25 touches. If you're adventurous and don't really care about your money, go 30.
$1.53.
$1.53. And then final one of the round, it'll be wrapped up by Sunday afternoon. Then nice kick back, feed the kids. You know how it is. GWS -6.5. Free money.
Comes to, wait for it, drum roll please.
Not you.
Why is he going to come in at the worst time?
What's going on?
Don't mind me.
We're doing Matt's Multi.
The worst time. Now I've got to cut it out as well. Fuck's sake.
So it'd be annoying if I started playing the piano right now.
Yes, it would.
All right, so last leg of Matt's Multi, we're going to be taking GWS -6.5. Free money. Easy last leg to add in. Brings our multi up to $6.13, I believe.
Woo.
Is it?
$6.10.
$6.10.
And if you boost that, you'll get about $7, $8.
$7 or $8.
Love that.
Free cash. Chuck a few dollars on it. Might get you a few tins of tuna. I know we've been eating crackers for the last few weeks with Matt's Multi.
Few. Define a few.
Last 14 weeks. So it's not been good, but look, there's only up to go from here, I say. And
You've been
next
saying that since round 4.
Next week, we will have a sponsor. So, can we get a win before we get a sponsor?
We're going to kick off a sponsored fashion, aren't
Imagine if we get a sponsor before a win. That'd be quite funny. But Matt's Multi.
We have to win this now.
I just want to, you know what? I just want to give myself a bit of credit here. So,
Why?
I came up with this segment, Matt's Multi, and you know what? Do you know what it's? I did. Do you know what it's done?
He's never watched the front bar in his life.
No, I came up with it. Do you know what it's done? It's allowed us to have the hunger, like legitimate hunger, because we keep putting money on Matt's Multi. He keeps not winning. The hunger to go and get that sponsor so we can gain all that money back.
I haven't bet Matt's multi since round 1.
Well, then you're an idiot. So you're the reason that we're not getting up. So
I'm backing it this week, though.
backing it this week, huge win this week on the cards, and I reckon it's a shoe-in.
Love it. All right.
Gamble responsibly.
Gamble responsibly. Love it, love it, love it. All right, now let's crack on with our last segment, our hot wings I'm going to go first because Dogger talks too much. I'm going to call this the underdog week this week. I think all these 50-50 games, and I'm liking a lot of the lines all over it. So, underdog week for me. I'm going to pick 4 underdogs who are all going to win. Or take their lines, sorry. So, Saints plus 28. We said that. We love it. Suns, I'm going to take their line as well. Dogs line, Crom line. All underdogs, 28, 6 and 8 is their lines. Multi that together, probably get 20 to 1. But underdog week for me, and I love all of them big time. So
good value if you put them in a multi.
Great value, great value.
Might get you $7 odds, so to rival Matt's multi.
Probably get you 27 and probably win more leagues than you have. So
4 times 1.9. It's about 7.
That'd be huge.
Look at it.
I guarantee. Continue.
Anyway, so for my hot wing of the week, I'm going to be going with the Saints win. I've already said it.
$14.
Oh, okay. I've already said it. Saints win. Can't see them. Can't see them winning, to be fair. But that's why it's a hot wing. So at $5, pretty huge.
They are closing $4.95. They are listening.
They're listening. I tried to tell you this before, guys. But I think Rowan Marshall back just aids Max King. And it's going to be a huge game for Max King. He'll probably kick 2 or 3 on Richmond. So it'll be a big game at the MCG. I think this is going to be a real turning point in St Kilda's season. So I'll be taking that for the win.
Guess how much Max King's paying for 3?
$4.33.
Yeah.
Oh, what a guess.
Anyway, Max King, $4.33. Would you like to add that to your hot wing?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
So add those 2 in, you get about $20 odds. That's actually huge.
That's huge.
That's massive.
Just take the
Get
line
around
at
it.
$4.33. Anyway, that's a great one. All right,
Anyway.
I like that.
All right. Another episode of the Winger Podcast.
We're all wrapped up.
Yep. All wrapped up for the first time in my life. Anyway. So make sure you follow us on Instagram.
And we just lost our sponsor. At Winger Podcast.
Follow us on TikTok.
At Winger Podcast.
Have a look at us on YouTube.
At
'Cause we've
Winger
been-
Podcast. We've been posting
Posting
every
very
week.
consistently,
Yes.
so,
Probably the last 7 or so episodes.
Yeah, how good is that?
Yeah.
And then also have a listen to us on Spotify.
At Winger Podcast.
Thank you very much.
Ta. Cheers.
Good night.